Hello everybody, this is saraperrypsychic medium, and this is your psychic weekly astrology for the 28th of September through to October the 4th, 2020. If you do enjoy this vlog, then please remember to like, share and subscribe, as it really supports the channel and helps me expand. And if you would like a private reading, then just check out the website. Everything is in the description box below, and there is a flash sale going on at the moment till the 30th of September, which is celebrating Saturn going direct. Yay! And this is a buy one get one free offer for 40 minutes, audio, telephone, Skype, email, you name it. You can do anything except one-to-one in office appointments, which doesn't happen very often at the moment anyway because of the social distancing. So let's have a look at each of the horoscopes and what is going on this week. Let's start with Aries. Now, the Aries full moon is upon us on the 1st of October this week, and if you are an Aries, then you are going to be fighting to push forwards. That's my feeling. Now, I do describe the Mars retrograde effect, feeling like you're trying to squeeze out of a box, a small hole, that somebody, just a little pinprick, and you're trying to get out and get your whole body through, and it's quite frustrating. So watch that this week, because I feel like you could be over anxious or feel really intense and want to get things sorted out, and you could go just bouldering in like, you know, a bull in a china shop, saying what you think, you know, standing up for yourself, realizing something important, when actually it's not. It's good that you're seeing it, it's really great that you're valuing yourself, but there is a better way of achieving the results. Think about what you want to achieve. Be observant if you can. Really practice meditation this week. I think it's going to really help you, because I'm just getting all these fires burning inside you, you know, and this excitement to get things going, and the energy, especially around Wednesday or Tuesday time, isn't going to be very helpful. You know, it could be going, you could feel like you're sort of being pulled one way and the other, and you're kind of stuck in the middle. Very odd feeling. This is a time to get your financial foundations in place. This week, I feel, looking at savings, interests, investments. There could be some changes due to the Brexit situation. Do check out that. I know there's issues going on with banking right now, especially if you're abroad, that kind of thing. I feel like you need to get things set in motion. You may not be able to get an appointment till next May, or, you know, in a 3 weeks time, but make the appointment. Don't put it off and think, well, I'll just wait until everything calms down. Start now. Try and get yourself in forwards to meet somebody or have a talk about things if you can. I feel like this could be a productive week for that. And you could get some good offers as well. You know, if you're looking for some kind of investment, or you're looking for a savings plan, you might get something on a special offer. I'm seeing things, you know, shining out, you know, big leaflets and that kind of thing, because the establishments are wanting business and they're wanting to keep things going, but also there is help on offer. That's what I'm being told. So don't get your knickers in a twist, get in a paddy, get angry about things. Go look at anything that may seem like a calamity or a disaster, because the full moon does bring unpredictable events. It could bring an argument. It could bring all this emotion up inside you. Really consider how you can make things better. Even if you are going to have an argument, at least go out, have a walk or something, calm down, and then decide, you know, think about, well, this can't happen again, let's make this right. Because this is going to be a good time for that, all right? It's going to be a great time to kind of put things, you know, everything where it needs to be and get it prepared. I do see movement here if you focus on your well-being and your youthful side, your fun, playful side. There's celebration around an ending, which could have been or could affect you emotionally. You might feel sad about it. You know, sometimes endings are sad as well as you're moving forwards. But just do your best to let go of it. Don't dwell too much, because that isn't going to help you. Just really focus on the positives here. The restrictions are leaving you. That's what I'm seeing. You know, things are being pulled away. The doors are starting to open as the breath is changing. The air is changing. You know, the wind is changing, guys. And also, you know, it's taking your doubts with them if that's what you ask for, if that's what you want. Just, like I said, listen to your intuition, get grounded, focus on your well-being and your fun side, you know, keep things light if you can. And if you do have an argument, do step back a little bit, detach and think things through of what is best for everyone concerned. But don't leave yourself out of it, because this is the whole point. It's like you may be feeling like you haven't been dealt the best hand, you know, or it's all about someone else. And it's not about being selfish, but it is about taking something back for yourself and rebuilding the balance. So moving on to Taurus, and now I am getting a bit of blocked energy here that really needs to move, and I think this is going to be in all the signs this week, a sense of like it's time to shift the dwelling, you know, it's time to shift that negative energy or heavy energy around you. It's about the mindset is what you need to be focusing on. Now, I did talk about this in the main reading, but if you suffer from depression or extreme highs and lows, then this is going to be a good time to fine-tune yourself. And I would seriously, because it's full moon, it is a good time to detox. Okay, it's a good time to get rid of things, clear out, cleanse, be light, you know, just lighten the load a little bit. That's what I feel is coming in for you, and stop trying so hard. I feel like there's been a lot of effort made throughout September, and there's still this sense of wanting to push, but that's got to do with the Mars energy. All right, so you almost need to step back and stop. I get the sense that for some of you there's a fear of stopping right now. It's like you've got your structure, you've got, you know, you're a structured sign, you're fixed, you know, you've got your areas you work in, and you've got your little flow, you know, your what you do, your routine. And I feel like a lot of that has been disrupted lately. And, you know, this could be sleep patterns, this could be just things changing, you know, because obviously around the world it's changing constantly, you know, people could have lost jobs here and there or whatever. So it's important to kind of keep that mindset on the productive side, the possibilities that can happen. I do see big shifts around your home energy, which will help. So maybe do a little bit of feng shui, clear out some of those corners that haven't actually been looked at. You know, there could be something that you're holding on to in the home, you know, an old favourite chair or something that really has had its day. I feel like this is time. It's time to move on. It's like we've been on a boat for a long time, you know, it's a long voyage, and now we're actually hitting land. So it's like you've got to step off the boat. You can't stay on it anymore, because this journey has ended. It's time to start a new one. It's time to start a new life, a new way of being. It really feels important this week that this transition is happening, you know, this new step forwards. There is a lot of healing happening right now, but your instincts are still going to be very strong. That could be a bit of a conflict in itself. And I'm going to say this to everybody, you know, particularly around the full moon, just for you, I feel you're going to feel very restless because something isn't working the way it is, or it feels jagged, you know, it's not smooth edged, and you're going to want things to be in place and where they should be so that you can keep yourself balanced. But what you're being told this week is it's you that keeps yourself balanced, not your routine, not your structure that you've created around you. You know, if all the house falls down, you could still have a good night's sleep. You know, well, maybe not if you're in a storm, but you know, you're the one that's having the sleep. The house doesn't make you sleep. You know, the house, the clothes you wear don't necessarily create the sleep state for you. You know, it's your mindset. It's what you believe. And you're being told that it's time to take charge of that and understand that you are the one making your choices, and you are the one that is creating the changes in your life, and that you have that control. You don't have to follow a constant pattern all the time. You can change that pattern. So Gemini, this, you know, everything seems to be on the move this week in a bizarre, restrictive way. It's like there's a shift happening. There may be talks about a proper move. I'm getting a sense of maybe thinking about emigrating, which seem bizarre at this point, but actually, you know, it's like, well, where is the safest place to be at the moment in the world? Do we do it now? Maybe it's something you've been discussing for a while and suddenly you realise that this is the time to do it. You thought you weren't going to do it for 5 years, but actually you've got a loophole. So you might find that this week, that you suddenly, something changes. I am seeing something around house prices, or, you know, changes around, I was going to say meal deals, you know, but deals out there, or, you know, and it's like, do it before a certain time. I mean, this could be to do with the Brexit situation, that, you know, it's best if you're going to do it, you might as well do it now before the changes coming in. You're going to hear things about pensions changing. We're all hearing stuff about banking right now. But if there, it seems to be that something will come up, and maybe you'll find that dream house, or you'll suddenly see a location and think, God, that's the place. You know, we've been looking over there the whole time, but we could have done this, and actually we could do this now. You know, we don't have to save that extra $5,000. We could just like get rid of all this and go. And it's something, it's either something you see, something that someone says, or just like this epiphany that happens, that changing things around. It may be that you decide you don't want to go anywhere, and that you're going to stay where you are instead of making a change because it isn't the right time. But things are turning in your favour, and if you want that new beginning, I feel like there's a breakthrough coming. So it could be a new beginning in work, it could be just lifestyle, relationship, and I feel it's coming in fast. It's a really interesting week this week, because I feel like the tables are turning quickly for everybody, and it's like the full moon is going to bring some surprises and unpredictability that will not only pull everything together and slot all those missing pieces of the puzzle together, but it's like a second chance coming in, a second wind, and understanding of what this was all about, you know. So this is a really important week, okay? If you can journal this week and write ideas down, then do. You know, I don't want you to like focus on what I've said as in, although it's good to listen, as in, oh God, I've got to think about moving house. Whatever comes will come naturally, okay? So some of this will resonate with some of you, some of it won't. But it does feel like aspects of the home will be on the agenda. There's also this energy from the past, situations with family returning. Now, the full moon is going to be quite an intense one. People wanting to, you know, take back their power, get things going, put things right, that kind of thing. So emotions could be high. It's going to be a time to take charge, and people are going to want to take charge of their lives. So again, this is why you could be thinking, right, actually this is the time, let's do it. But this could be a family issue coming back, maybe somebody coming back into the fold all of a sudden, or someone you haven't seen for a long time coming back in, or a situation that is being readdressed. I feel like you've got to be calm, you've got to be adaptable, you've got to be flexible. Don't get drawn in, like think before you leap. That's because you could be feeling a little bit messed up in the head, because, you know, Geminis have got two people in there going, well, yes, do it, no, don't, you know, and so there could be some indecisive stuff, and you don't want to get yourself in a fuzz, so keep yourself calm as you can. There is jealousy around you, watch that this week, and it is going to be obvious. Suddenly you're going to think, oh my God, you know, and that is when you kind of will see the balance as well. It's like somebody's behaving in a certain way to hold you back, maybe. Be aware of that. There is luck though, all right? There's luck on your side, so focus on the luck. Be powerful by being the powerful person you are, you know, believing in yourself as much as you can, and trust that what you know is real. You know, what you're being told is real this week. Hello, Cancer. Now, this week, I'm seeing creativity is called for, a creative mind. Put all your energies into thinking outside the box. Be inspirational. I feel like there's magic in the air for you this week. There are some revelations coming which will show you actually how secure you are and what position you are in. I feel like you felt like you've been on the edge for a long time, that things haven't been stable, that things are ever changing, but something I feel this week is going to show to you that actually, no, you are in a really good position compared to many others. You know, there might be less in the bank. There may be some uncertainty about work. But maybe the skills you have, or just the setup you have in your relationship and family, and the support you've got, is all you need. You know, is what is giving you that grounded situation. Whereas somebody else might have millions in the bank, look fabulous, you know, have that 12.4 family or whatever it is, and actually be completely up to their eyeballs in debt, not have a great fulfilling relationship with their partner, and have just given everything to your kids, and they're just really selfish and unkind, and they're working a job they hate, and they're doing every hour God sends just to cover everything. Do you see what I mean? So you may have less, but it's solid. Whatever it is, it's actually what you have, and it can be invested into something better. But be creative. Think about what your skills are this week. I think it's important. I've got house situations, house moves, possibly. Seems to be a challenge here that is occurring, but there's strength around it to overcome it, and it is really positive, the outcome. I've got 2 lots of the sun here. It's like the sun is shining on you and work, and I feel like a shift is going to help the working situation as well. It's going to shift the energy in general. There is going to be new communication, a new way of communicating, and I do feel love is around you. There's a sense of the phoenix rising this week and luck coming to you, and I'm seeing more money in your hands. It's almost like a gamble, you know. It's like, I'm seeing somebody like a casino and putting a bet on, and it just coming in, you know. It's like your horse is coming in, and I'm not telling everybody to go and place your bets right now, but I'm getting that kind of sense that you're just thinking, no, do you know what, I'm going to just take my chance. So it could just be that you're taking a chance on something that you don't really know the outcome, but actually you do have everything to make it work. It's just a matter of doing it. It's about just refocusing and restructuring. There's less effort here. I just feel like if you stop pushing and forcing and trying so hard, you're actually going to find a lot of solutions to your issues. And if you just think positively and be inspirational, I think that it's, you know, and just think about the passion of life and the love of life. I just feel like everything is going to work out in your favour. And like I say, there's this revelation that you are in a much stronger position than you really realise. And there's a whole new perspective coming. I just get the sense it's going to be a major shift this week. And like I say, if it's not a problem, if you're not talking about moving house, it could just be a shift, a physical shift in you. It could be that you move house for work, or you get an opportunity there, or it means that you've got the challenges that you've got to move house to get a job, or that when you move or you make a shift, that the work starts coming in and it releases it overcomes a challenge. That's the whole problem. If you're in the right place, you're going to get what you want. But staying where you are and feeling, oh yeah, well I haven't got this, haven't got that, you're never going to break out of that mold. You're just going to stay stuck. And I feel like something has to move. So Leo, this week, I feel like the biggest message is let go of your doubt. Stop listening to other people and their negative projections. It's like there's just talk all around you. And it's clouding your inspiration. You're questioning yourself. You're doubting whether you can. And it's time to step away, step into the light. Turn the light on and see the reality. Because you have so much more control than you realise. I just feel like this is about taking control of what you want this week. It is about taking charge. The full moon is in Aries. You know, it's about you taking a stand and saying, actually, you know, I don't need to listen to this. The reason that everybody is having an opinion, or the reason that maybe doubt is being projected at you, is because you're doubting yourself. I feel like there's been some blocks lately. There has been for everybody in general. You know, the energy is very erratic, but it's all been about you moving forwards. You have been stopped in your tracks many times, which could have just felt so unreasonable and so unjustified. And what was the point of that? But actually, you're going to see, very, very likely this week, some real positives. There's some lovely surprises around, and there's some real abundance. And I feel like you need to connect with your family unit. Now, this doesn't have to be the one you were born with. It could be just a close friendship set up. People that you feel like you're family with, people you feel comfortable with, that understand you, that have got your back, that would just listen. rather than throwing all their opinion at you. I feel like you're almost like searching for the answers for other people, and that's the problem. You know, sometimes when we don't have anything and everything goes a bit still, it's been very limbo-ish this, you know, this last week. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I feel like I'm in limbo. I have myself, so I get it. But it's just been to do with, I just feel like something is trying to get started again. Saturn's going direct this week, so things are going to change, as in the challenges aren't going to be quite as harsh. Saturn still hangs around, don't get me wrong, you know, it does its magic. It really is a planet that many of us may fear because it teaches us the hard lessons. But when it's retrograde, it's really heavy. And with Mars retrograde as well, and Pluto and all these others, you know, it just becomes like you're just carrying the weight of the world. So you start asking, you know, you're looking out for answers, and you're like, why, you know, who's going to help me, who's going to do this? And then you kind of can get in with the wrong people, because if you're feeling negative, you're going to draw those in, and then they're just going to like give you their negative opinion, and then you just take that on board, and then you get more confused. So what they're saying is start listening to yourself. There's something coming back from the past that's going to be very sudden, that is going to give you strength this week, and it is also going to bring a new beginning. So remain inspired by the present, that things can change in a moment. It's time to set yourself free from those strings, you know, the ones that you've attached yourself to. These aren't ones that you have to be a part of. These are ones that you've got involved in. Maybe you've got involved in love triangles or group arguments or just cliques that aren't good for you. It's time to release yourself. It's time to believe that you don't need that to help. It's not going to define who you are. Just, you know, let go of the fear. Deal with what you're afraid of and just set yourself free, and everything will just start looking so much rosier. Hello, Virgo. So, what have we got for you this week? Something is coming back, all right? And now, I do have a love interest for some of you. Some of you may not be interested in all of that, but I do get a sense of something returning and communication coming back. Now, this could be that you've fallen out with somebody, or, you know, you haven't had the chance to be with somebody because of what's been going on, or this is just something you love coming back, something that is heartfelt, that you've missed. It does feel like people, though. Maybe people coming back into the mix that you've been separated from, or maybe they've just detached for a while, or you've, like I say, you've fallen out. But it just feels like the communication is opening up again. Things are getting softer, lighter, more energized. I'm just getting more colour coming into your life. Just be aware of the old temptations, because I feel like whatever is coming back is bringing that back as well. And it's kind of a double-edged sword. You can't kind of have one without the other, but you can. It's about deciphering, or you may feel you can't have one without the other. But once you actually pull it apart and simplify things, you'll realise what needs to go and what can stay, and you'll kind of create new boundaries. Now, if this could be somebody that has left you and wants you back, you know, after they've left, you know, they've dumped you and you've been heartbroken, and you may want to jump in and make it all right because you're feeling, you know, you just want to feel loved, you know, so you're back in there. But you're being told is talk it out, get to the bottom of things, really open up that communication, because that was the problem. That's what I'm getting at. It's like things weren't said. You never got your say. You never got your resolution. Don't be afraid to speak out. Now, this doesn't have to be a love interest. This could be somebody who who's stepped away, or you really had enough of, and they're coming back and they're apologising. And it's all very well saying sorry, but it's actions that you need, and you need to get to the bottom of why as well. So nip things in the bud. Like I say, this could be an issue that you loved and it disappeared and it's coming back. But again, there seems to be something that needs to be ironed out, whatever that is. Okay, so it's something part of the heart. I see new perspectives where self-love is concerned for you. It's like you're becoming more confident. And I think this is to do with the Aries full moon, because it's about adjusting the balance. It's about taking charge of what is important to you. It's not just about everybody else. And maybe you've just been giving to everybody around you and you're exhausted, and suddenly this full moon brings up a little bit of tension because you're kind of frustrated with it all, and you just want to like nip things in the bud now and say, right, from now on, this is how we're going to do it. I can help you, and you, but I'm going to do you on Monday, you on Tuesday, you on Wednesday, but actually the rest of the week is mine. And I feel like there's something that, again, it's this opportunity, something you love coming back. If it's it's a project or it's a job that you could get offered, that comes back, an opportunity that you couldn't do, then the communication is going to be important, because you may have to communicate to the people around you what, that you want this, that this is what's important to you, and they may be, not realising that. So communication is really important. It's going to be lucky for you. So I feel like whatever you say, if you speak your truth, it's going to work out. And I do see new beginnings coming from this. This is a week where your skills are going to be put into the test, where you have to realise that you do have what it takes to make something happen. You can manifest. You do have the power in your hands. You've got the magic wand. It's just how do you use it to work to which is more beneficial to you. You're going to see more details about what you want. There's things that you've wanted and it hasn't quite happened. Like I say, it's like there's something that you wanted to finish, a project, but you keep putting it off because everybody else needs your time. And then suddenly you understand what's going on in your own head. You understand why you do it. The simplicity, the way that you would be, if that was the example we're using, the way you'd be looking at it is like, well, I have to give these people my time because that's the way it is, they need me, they're important to me, I'm responsible for that, I can do that anytime, I can do that project anytime. But those responsibilities come bigger and bigger, and then while you're just staring at this project, at some point you have this epiphany and then realise that actually you're the one that has been putting off doing this project, because actually you're more afraid of it becoming too good, because then if it's really good and you're really successful at what you do, then you might actually lose it. And actually when you're on top, everyone brings you down, and you don't want to feel like that. So it's all like a change of pattern. It's like this is to do with how your mind works, or how you react to things, or how you are already taking charge but not necessarily in the best way. So this is an interesting week for you. But do see new perspective, and mindset is going to be really, really important. So focus on that. Think about what your thoughts do. What triggers you to do what? When there's a cry for help, what do you do? Is it really fast that you just put everything else down to deal with that? Or do you make people wait a little bit? How important are these things? It's like you're addressing everything this week. Libra, hello. Right, beware of being drained by old temptations this week. I feel like relations around you could be love relationships, friendships, work colleagues. They could be very sort of like, it's like they're going, come on, let me do this, like, be the strong one, I can't cope. It's almost like you've walked through hell and all these people are going, save me this week. Look at the positives about standing in your own power, being independent and being confident, okay? Don't let other people's, projections pull you down. I've said this to a few signs now. I feel there's going to be sudden information given to you as showing you who has got your back and who hasn't. Now, I've talked about this full moon with all the signs, and in general, this is going to be quite intense. On the levels that you could feel frustrated that you're not being given enough, that your needs aren't being met, and this is going to be a time for you, I feel like, where you're going to really see this clearly this week, especially around Thursday onwards. There seems to be a block, something isn't changing, and you're going to realise that actually until you step up on your own and you get your voice heard, or you do things your way, it isn't going to change. It's like that Wheel of Fortune who's got stuck somewhere or got jammed, and it's affecting every part of your life. If you look at your maybe working life, your finances, your love life, your home, all these things, there'll be issues there. I'm seeing issues with electrical stuff, and this is to do with the energy of Mercury coming in, but just things like breaking down, small faults, not massive things, but irritations in your home, those kind of things. But I'm getting computer messages not going through. This is a typical Mercury retrograde thing, and like I say, we haven't hit that yet, but I feel like you're kind of getting the energy early. Then you got like financial, like bills coming in last minute, or some discrepancy with a bill. Maybe there's a mistake. I'm seeing numbers that have been printed wrong. You getting a statement that belongs to someone else, you know, or somebody taking some money out of your account early, you know, and it kind of throwing you off key a little bit. Then you got like relationship stuff where people just aren't making up their mind and they're keeping you in limbo. People aren't calling you back, that kind of thing. It feels very, very, you know, this is to do with, it's like you're waiting for everything else to define what you do next. That's what I'm getting. It's like you're putting the energy into other people's or other things' hands. If something breaks down in the house, it is not going to be the end of the world. You know, if your washing machine breaks, you could still wash your clothes if you had to. There, you know, even if you've got to do it by hand, there is a way. You could borrow someone else's washing machine, right? It's not going to stop you going to work, but you could be so focused on that breakdown that you can't see the wood through the trees, you know, and it's like the whole day gets ruined, you know. Well, don't let it. This is what the guidance is think about how you can take charge of something. You know, if that washing machine's always been broken, then maybe it is time to look for a new one, but do it before Mercury goes retrograde, because you might not get such a good deal. But then, you know, where it comes to relationships, you might be waiting for someone to make a decision. You're not doing anything because someone else hasn't decided, or they're not backing you up. But if it's something you really want, it's really important, then surely you have a say too. I feel like the choices are being given to everything else. And this isn't about giving up to the universe. That's letting go. The letting go for you is letting go of thinking that something else will create your happiness. Okay, thinking that if that isn't done, you're not going to be able to do that. If you haven't got the money, you're not going to be able to buy that house. Well, okay, realistically, if you haven't got 50 grand, you can't buy a 50 grand house necessarily. But if you've got 5, then you might be able to put a deposit down and still buy it. Or if you were to put money away each week, you could start saving towards it. So it's like, or you can change your job, you can get, you know what I mean? There's lots of ways. And what Spirit wants you to do this week is really look at those possibilities. Don't get yourself all bunged up and angry and take it out on people or unnecessarily, because it's not creating progression. It is just creating more conflict for yourself, and it's draining you. This is about being confident, rising above issues, other people's stuff, and be creative in your thinking this week. So, so important, because I think that you could really turn things around. And I think some people are holding back or pushing you backwards or blocking you because they're jealous, but you can't see that because you're not believing you're good enough. You don't think anyone would be jealous, okay? Now, this may not resonate with everybody, but if you are feeling drained, you are feeling blocked, and that is the answer. Stand up for yourself, be confident, and know that actually your ideas are just as good as anybody else's, and that you can take control if you want, that you do have the key. You don't have just a spare key, you've got the actual master key of your life. Hello, Scorpio, all my fellow Scorpios out there. Now, I've talked a lot about this week about people taking charge and, you know, being confident, not allowing other people to drain you, not being projected by other, you know, allowing other people's projections to pull you down. This is a week where stress management is really in order, and I do feel like you could get really angry. Now, Scorpios do have a temper, so, and I know because I've been experiencing with this Mars retrograde, and sometimes it's really good to have a big old wah, you know, and get it all out there. But if you're going to do that, then at least do it in a safe place. You know, don't say, you can, I think it's important to release that energy, but be aware of what you're saying, jumping in or jumping to conclusions, because other people's behaviour might just wind you up because it's triggering old stuff. All right, just be aware that sometimes people just don't get in touch because they're busy, not because they don't like you anymore. But I just feel with this Pluto energy still hanging around, You know, it's still bringing up a lot of old fears and distrust in you. There is growth this week, and there is flutterings of some wonderful, wonderful surprises. And there is a return of somebody or a situation. Again, it's going to be a surprise. So it's something from the past that is coming back, and you have the skills, okay? You have the skills, and that is why it's coming to you. So this could be a job opportunity. It could be just somebody coming back who is headhunting you, that kind of thing. There is a bit of a game player in the mix around here. I think that what I'm seeing is the Scorpio strength getting so powerful and so intuitive right now, and really lifting to that high frequency, because we've been really going through a hard time, a lot of struggle over the last few years. And I feel like this is the end of it. You know, this is the new beginning that is happening. We really are shedding the skin. And people don't like it. There's people out there that really don't want this power because it's too strong. And because of your emotional connections, you know, your deep passions and emotions, you know, you would rather please than hate. Although you get angry, there's a sense it's coming from passion, it's coming from love, it's coming from the desire in you to, you know, to where you really invest in everything. When you really invest as a Scorpio, you invest. So when somebody turns the tables or lets you down, you know, it creates this anger and distrust and upset. And but so there's a lot of doubt that comes up, and lately there has been, you know, there's been a lot of like questioning and thinking, you know, am I good enough? There's been a lot of stuff about value going on, because things have been held back. It's like elastic bands, you know, pulling it back, and suddenly it's all going to come forwards. So it's important now that you remain in your power. I feel like people who are under the sign of Scorpio have made headway, big headway. And although you may feel like you've stepped back every now and again, you haven't. You've just maintained the balance. It's not about all or nothing, really. It is about having it all, right? But you don't have to. You don't have to get it right. You know, everything doesn't have to be so perfect to be right. It's about being balanced. All right. When you can love in a detached way and have forgiveness even for your enemies, you are in balance, because you're still feeling love. The energy's really good, but you're not hating. But you're not investing in something that isn't going to give you anything back either. So you're kind of just there in the ether, and you're in a really good unconditional place, and you understand. But you don't have to go. You know you have a choice, you have control, and this is what I feel is already happening. But you may be tested a little bit this week with stuff. Be patient with yourself. Take time to do reflection on yourself, your inner soul. Listen to what that is saying to you. I feel there's lots of inspiration coming in this week. There may be differences of opinion, and you may have to stand strong in your independence and trust yourself in one instant. But I do see movement forwards and a creative move to better energy. You know, maybe you're moving to a new place, or you're just shifting the energy and you're now settled in this new cycle. Okay, it just feels better. But there's still the background hovering around, you know, and there's still this sense of release that's got to happen, or peeling off of the old energy. And there's still stress around, because people are coming to you like you're the light, you know. And these moths just keep coming in, and they just keep wanting, and they just, you know, it's like an irritating fly, you just can't get rid of them. I had one of them today, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake, you know. And you do get wound up, but it's about kind of going still and centered and grounded, and just not reacting unless absolutely necessary. Ask yourself this week, what are my intentions? By reacting this way, what am I intending to get back? What are my expectations from this? Am I behaving in this fashion to get a reaction? Am I doing it to hurt somebody? Am I doing it to make a point? Am I doing it to win? Am I doing it to settle the score? Why am I doing whatever I do? You know, you step outside the front door because you need to leave the house. Your intention is to walk out of the house because you'll be going somewhere. you know, if you're going to work, your intention is to go to work, or maybe to get the bus, or to, you know, you're getting a bus because that will take you to work. But is your intention to say something harmful, to hurt somebody else because you felt belittled, because you want to create that balance? Is it best to say to somebody, to give them a bit of their own medicine so that they hurt and they feel like you did? Or is it best to just call them out and tell them how you felt and just nip it in the bud? Or is it best to just forgive and let go of it and know that you are better? I know the third one could be actually the least easy, but if you really need to say something, then just speak your truth and then end it. And if the person wants to continue, you don't have to be invited in. It's up to you. Consider what you want to get out of a situation this week, because I feel like once you start doing that, you're going to start reacting and behaving in a much more grounded way and a much more effective way as well, because this new cycle is going to be really energized for you, especially next year. So you just got to be the best you can, and don't waste any energy on something that is going to give you nothing. It's just depleting you. It's just taking from you. It's just bringing in more of that stuff. Keeping that high vibe. Hello, Sagittarius. Lovely to talk to you today. Now, it seems like everybody seems to be battered and blown this week with something, either stopped in our tracks, being challenged with other people's convictions or opinions, or just being affected by self-doubt. And I feel like some of you may be feeling a bit hard done by this week, or a bit of a victim of a situation. Maybe at your lowest ebb. I don't think that will be for everybody, and sometimes we just feel lower than we realise that we actually are. We just feel down because the energy is a little bit heavy. It could just be that. It doesn't mean you're going into a massive depression. What I do see is a new perspective is called for. I did talk about in the main reading about not sort of dwelling on stuff, and this is really, really apparent for you guys. It's really important to get yourself out of this doldrum, because there's no point focusing on what is going to be lost or could be lost or what isn't happening. It's just a waste of energy. It is time to think, right, I'm being given a second opportunity. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and although I'm feeling a bit low because actually my energy's tired or my energy's low, maybe I'm going to change my diet. Maybe I'm going to think about why I'm not sleeping properly or focusing on these negatives. Who am I hanging around? Who is putting all this stuff onto me? What can I displace? What can I change around? Mindset is really important this week anyway. But I feel for you, a new beginning is on the cards. It's like, okay, let's just start afresh. Let's imagine that I had nothing in the pot. Everything had been paid out though. Everything has been sorted, but I've got to start again. How would I create that income? How would I create that abundance in my life? What is the most effective thing? Don't think about speed. Think about continuity and consistency. Again, lots of gossip around you. There is around a lot of signs. I think everyone's going to be wanting to say something, but it's because you're possibly feeling like the underdog. You're feeling like you've lost out, or like, oh my God, why is it me? But just watch those thoughts. There is loyalty going to be shown to you this week. And I do feel like the heart is about to open. And when somebody shows you this loyalty, you are going to feel like you are beyond. You're just going to, it's like a sense, I just get the sense you're just going to feel such love from somebody this week. Maybe they just tell you something nice, or they just do something really, really loving towards you, and they just show their love. And that's what's important, to have that love and to have that in your life, and then hold on to that feeling, because that is what you want to be plying into everything you do, or ploughing into. And just feeling that, even for 5 minutes, is going to open up maybe 6 or 7 doors for you, opportunities. Work on your spiritual side this week. Think positively, work on that. Or practice it. Practice spirituality. Practice trust. Practice getting into that higher vibe frequency. Do whatever it takes. Think, okay, well, today has been, the last week has been a bit of a mess, or the last couple of weeks, things haven't been going well. So what can I do to change that energy? What can I do to actually give myself a bit of fun, even for an hour? There's a phone call coming that could change everything this week. So there are positives, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to be able to open your eyes first to see it. And at the moment, you're the one that's closing your eyes to certain things. I know the energies are heavy. Mars is really heavy, and Saturn could be very bizarre on Tuesday. It could feel like nothing is happening or you're being stopped. So don't push too hard on that day. And you could feel really, really wound up by the weekend because of the full moon. But put it into something good, Stay away from people that you want to hurt, or you want to have a go at. There's no point being around those people, If it's going to stress you out, then don't. All right, look after number one. Hello, Capricorn. So for you, I'm seeing moving. Could be moving away. I feel like something is coming in really fast. If you're waiting for that dream home, you're waiting for that opportunity to move. Some of you, I feel like you're waiting for a plane ticket to, or an opening. I'm seeing people looking at the timetable and thinking, right, this is going to be the train I'm going to get. This one's going to be empty kind of thing. And I feel like there's opportunity coming this week to make a shift, and it is going to come in really fast, okay? And it's going to speed things forwards as well. So if you've been waiting to get signing on a house, or, you've been waiting to hear from somebody on a quote or whatever, I feel like when it does come, it's going to be very fast moving. So be certain about what you want to do with this energy. Be sure about what you want. So if you're looking at moving, then start packing, just get ready, because I feel like it could be really, really quick. There's a lot of spiritual insight coming in to help you understand what your passion is. I feel like for some of you that has been missing in what you're doing. Maybe money or abundance has been taking over, or the lack of, or, you can't find what you want to do, that kind of thing. I know that some of you out there know exactly what you want and you love what you do, and this isn't about you, but I do feel that your passion is going to be illuminated. So it could happen during the full moon particularly, because it's about you, it's about you shining, it's about you taking charge of things and saying, right, okay, this is gone and this has changed, but now, I'm going to do this for me. I feel like there's a relationship that is draining you. This is something that you've been doing that you felt that you loved, or you are invested in an emotional way, has been draining you. And you're going to realise this week, and your intuition is going to tell you what has been draining you. But there's something, I think this is more about, for some of you, you're not following what you really want to do, or you're not doing what you love. And so you're kind of going down this road and you're feeling drained because you're not listening to your heart. And for some of you, it may be that you've been giving your heart to somebody, and you're realising they're actually a drain on you. They're really taking more than they should. And this is a real typical thing for the full moon right now, to realise how much you're giving and receiving, and to get that balance right. So that's important. I do see the tiger energy here. So this is going to, this is good for you. The confidence is coming, the roar, coming through. And that need for security, that need for structure. Put the fighting away, though. Stop battling. That's the issue. It's like sometimes you're just fighting the odds. You're not actually doing anything. It's like you're throwing the dice up and down in the air and questioning, shall I do this, shall I do that, shall I go on black, shall I go on red, kind of thing. And then not really doing anything. And then the casino's shut and you haven't got a chance anyway, and you're still stuck with all these chips. It's like, stop thinking about stuff. Stop fighting yourself about what you want. If you really want something, then go for it. Sometimes things are a struggle. Sometimes things are slow to get going. But if you really love it, you've got that passion, you can get it going. All right? But everything seems to be shifting this week. Something is going to happen very, very quickly. Especially this drain thing, this new beginning that's coming. It could be that you're draining someone else, You could be a drain on someone because there's stress around here, or someone's stressing. Okay, but I think that's the full moon energy, and it's about getting the balance. Remember that this is happening to get things right. But step back, see the whole playing field. That's what Spirit is saying. Look at where you're focusing, where you're playing that ball, where are you kicking it? Is it actually going into that goal? Or are you just constantly passing it from pillar to post? So nothing is getting a score. Hello Aquarius. So self-reflection this week. I feel like this is time to recharge, particularly for you. I'm just getting a slower energy for you Aquarians. Everyone else seems to be like going either very, very stagnant and restrictive and getting really passionate and really high end. But I feel for you, you're kind of floating a little bit. There are blocks. There are some issues that I feel like you want to get over in your head. But I think this is where the self-reflection will come in. And I just get the sense that you're going to want to take a bit of a back seat this week and find a place of flow again. You know, maybe everything's just been going too fast for you and it's time to kind of settle things down again and take some time out just to readjust. For some of you, you know, you might be suffer a situation of feeling like you've been abandoned or you're the one that's always losing out. You know, maybe you've had a money loss of some kind or something didn't, you know, someone didn't pay you what they owed you. But this is when, you know, self-reflection is important to look at what skills you have and how you can put that right. I just kind of get the sense that you may have trusted somebody, maybe lent some money, or you put your trust in somebody, maybe and they've taken more than they should, you know, and this is not your self-worth. It doesn't even have to be money. It could just be that they've undervalued you and now you want it back, and you've maybe put all your energy into their hands and you've believed that was what was going to make things right. You know, this could be just an investment, you know, or a loan you've taken out that didn't work out. I don't know, but there's a feeling that something has hit you and hard, and now you need to kind of restructure, recharge, bring everything back. And if you look at what skills you have, you'll realise that you have everything it takes to put this right again. And actually there might be money loss, but there's knowledge to be gained, and there's a lot of learning this week. There is a call coming for you that is going to help you set you straight onto a path that you desire. And for some of you, you know, you may have just feel lost of energy. You know, it's just like maybe you've just been giving too much to everyone else and you just need a break. Because I just get the sense that once you kind of find a place of de-stress and you stop overthinking things and get out of your head, you know, and just take things a bit easier and get into that flow, maybe do some meditation, things are going to be easy this week. And I do see a lot of expansion and I do see things moving forwards. I'm seeing paperwork having to be signed. You know, it's like the train is coming in now. It's coming into the station. Things are actually starting to chug along again where they've had the brakes on for a while. There's also a sense of fun. I feel like if you can have some fun, focus on your passions a bit, maybe, I don't know, have some dalliances, maybe, you know, someone around you can have a little bit of fun with. I feel that is going to waken you up a bit. You know, that's going to recharge you as well. And I don't mean everyone go off and have sex everywhere, but, you know, there's that sense that if you are with somebody and, you know, and you're having fun with them, then don't put them off and kind of, you know, don't put that off when you could actually have some relaxation time. You know, if that could be good for you. Don't put some of the other things in front, you know. If that's you know, what I'm saying is that's the value. Value yourself enough that you can actually have some enjoyment. That's what I'm trying to say. That came out all a bit weird, didn't it? But I do see possible travel this week as well, or opportunities where you're looking into a trip. Maybe you're going to put a deposit down, that kind of thing. Definitely expansion and movement though. And last of all, we've got Pisces. Hello, all you Pisces out there. Now, this week, there is going to be a complete change of pattern for you. I feel like you're going to start a new path in your life, maybe go down a more healing route, something that is going to help you feel better. I'm seeing people kind of looking at their diets, you know, thinking about detoxing, taking certain vitamins. I'm definitely seeing people swallowing tablets of some kind, but yeah, it feels like vitamins. You know, it's like you're thinking, right, this is going to help my energies. And I'm getting lots of green and things like seaweed and, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm not a nutritionist, but I do feel that you're going to be, something could be shown to you, or you could find a new way of, you know, healing your body inside and out. This is also going to help with your relationships in general, because I feel whatever you're putting in your body is helping your outward body and your expression and how you deal with things. There is a sense of soulmate connection this week. You could meet somebody suddenly, or this person could be the person that's influencing and you, bringing in the healing, and this is a new path of love that you're on. Your intuition is going to be so strong. Your gut feeling is going to tell you what to do, and that's why I feel like it is a complete change. It's like one minute you've gone to bed going, full of the woes of the world, or this is my life, and you wake up and you go, right, okay, new regime, I'm a completely different person, I'm going to become a vegan, I don't know. But it's like this massive change. I get the sense that the stress around you, or some kind of stress, is you're going to be your wake-up call, though. So, like I say, you could go to bed exhausted and stressed because you've been dealing with everyone else's stuff and not your own. But this is going to bring new beginnings. It is an awakening, and it is going to be a good, strong place for you to go towards. A goal is coming in. There's going to be a lot of support around you. In this new beginning. Really focus on what you want this week. Stop being stubborn with yourself. Stop putting things off. If there's something you want, then be honest with yourself. If there's somebody you want and they're not talking to you, or they haven't been in touch and they've left you hanging, then let go of the fear of asking what's going on. At least you can come out of this limbo. You can let go of some frustration. There's a lot of transformation this week for you. I feel like you can step on to this new way of being, this more healthy well-being, better love relationships, better family relations, better working relationships, and all to do with how you're looking after yourself. So think about your well-being, because that is going to have an effect on other people around you too, Not that they're the most important thing you are, but I feel like this is, because of this full moon is in Aries, it is really about you taking charge of a situation, saying, right, enough is enough. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I'm going to decide what I want, and I'm going to go for it. There is going to be temptation around to block you. Be aware of that. That could be old habits, but I do get the sense, I'm seeing people like throwing it down the toilet. You're literally throwing away these old habits and saying, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to follow this pattern because it's not good for me, and it's causing issues with my relationships. It's causing issues in my general life, and I feel bad. I don't feel great. So this is going to be a real detoxing week for you, okay? But keep at it. Be kind to yourself. Just go in the flow, Sometimes we have to stop, start. But I get the sense this could be quite sudden. You'll just wake up and feel refreshed and renewed and go, right, off, I'm on my way, which is fantastic. So thanks, guys, for all tuning in. If you'd like a private reading, just go to my website, www.saraperrypsychic.co.uk or .com. And please remember to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so.